Welcome to Coalmine F1 League, and on tonight's episode, I get a little too close to the castle, I'm unable to hit the apex, and I'm upset as I'm re-recording this entire video. All that and more on today's episode. So my only goal for this first qualifying lap is to not absolutely bin it into the wall into turn 1. And to everyone's surprise, I managed to get around the corner successfully without breaking my front wing. I then quickly proceed to mount the curb the same way I mount your mother, because I have zero interest in having a quick lap time. I then go do it again a couple more times for good measure, just to really shatter any delusion that I have any skill in this game. I then go do what I like to call foreshadowing. I'd like to think my English teacher would be proud of this. Rounding off the first lap, I've only put it 2 seconds off the pace, which for my standards, I think isn't too bad. Going into the first 2 corners for my second qualifying lap, I decide I want to give myself a challenge by going 7/10 down, as if I'm not already mentally challenged enough as is. I didn't even want to improve my time anyway. At the end of the lap, by some miracle, I find myself 3 tenths up. Then I quickly remember who I am and slowly start to lose all the time I've gained, and I end up only improving my time by 1.5 tenths. For my third qualifying lap, I did actually improve by half a second. However, you're just going to have to trust me on this because I forgot to record it. Not that it made much of a difference, as I still qualified 2 seconds off pole, which is made even more embarrassing due to the fact that we're playing unrealistic performance. So, I'm in one of the fastest cars. I've had a fantastic start to the Grand Prix by not moving from my box, so my tyres are nice and cold. I didn't want the grip anyway. As the lights go out, I managed to get a good launch and get past Sean's McLaren. I then proceed to move up even more spots as half the cars in front of me decide to take the scenic route. I've not been this high since I ate the mushrooms off the bathroom tiles. Going to turn 3, I wanted to give Daniel a scare and went for a dive bomb that's totally on. I quickly let him back through because I felt bad, and it totally wasn't a skill issue. I quickly realised I had a Mercedes alongside me, but I wasn't going to let him through too because I had done enough charity work and that he had to suffer a little bit longer behind me. By a little bit longer, I really did only mean a few corners as Callum gets back alongside me and I get familiar with the wall. I decided to show my displeasure at this by giving a few love taps before he fucks off into the distance. Coming down the main street, my other Mercedes quickly get past me and I quickly realise I'm descending to where I belong, the back. I then shit myself as Jensen tries to make a move around the outside, but then quickly loses control. I really can't say shit as I didn't have a lot more control. Coming to turn 7, I discover Daniel facing the wrong way, then I quickly receive back shots from Jensen. Oliver wishes he was me right now.
You can't park there, sir!
Coming down the main straight, Sean gets past me, but then kindly locks up, letting me back through again. Coming back into turn 7, I quickly find myself in a very familiar situation, but this time it seems to be Charlie's McLaren in the wall, giving me a nice and easy overtake. To absolutely no one's surprise, there's been a safety car. I've boxed for a new front wing and a new pair of hards. The decision to go in the hards goes on to be a terrible, terrible decision. As the safety car comes in, I get a decent launch and Sean is caught napping. Going to turn 1, I'm looking to see if I can make a move anywhere, and all of a sudden, Charlie goes for the most diabolical dive bomb of all time. But it works out for me as I move back up into 4th. Before you know it, we're back under safety car. I decide to let my AI take over for a little bit to slow me down and so I don't have to drive through the castle if I don't have to. As we're about to go racing again, I get a decent launch and get a nice little run down to turn 1, seeing if I can make a move anywhere. I pull alongside Jensen, but then decide to back out of the corner. I then remember I'm terrible, so Daniel goes around the outside. Oliver has then pulled alongside me, but I flat out refuse to let him pass and have a little bit of a argy going through the corner. Both cars behind me are desperate to get past. I don't blame them, because I wouldn't want to be stuck behind my slow ass either. Going through turn 5 and 6, I slide around like a professional ice dancer, which isn't ideal, but it doesn't really matter at this point because everyone else is stuck behind me anyway. The cars behind me really must hate me, because I've managed to hold them up by nearly 4 seconds in the space of a lap, demonstrating my unrivaled pace. For old time's sake, I decide to mount the curb again and use the wall to brake, because braking regularly is for chumps, and I may be slow, but I ain't no chump. Oliver finally gets past me as I decide to defend around the outside like an absolute idiot, only after holding him up for 6 seconds. I then use my special braking technique again, breaking my front wing in the process. I then go on to do my best Lewis Hamilton impression, forgetting to turn off my magic button. To round it off, I do my best Charles Leclerc impression to really hammer in that Ferrari pain, bringing out the safety car once again. At this point, I fucked off to the pub to go watch the actual race, only to see Ferrari do shit again. Jensen goes on to get the race victory. Come back next week for China, and don't forget to like and subscribe.